Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad FIRDAUS ROSLI, and today I would like to share about Islamic hire purchase ITAP by Maybank Islamic. So, the first question, what is Islamic hire purchase? Uh, Maybank as an Islamic bank offer Islamic hire purchase facility that comply with Sharia law. The key principle underlying Islamic hire purchase is the concept of ownership and the sharing of risk between the bank and the customer. Instead of charging interest of the loan, the bank and the customer enter into a joint ownership agreement for the vehicle, where the bank owns a portion of the vehicle while the customer gradually purchases the bank share over time. Under this agreement, the bank purchases the vehicle on behalf of the customer and retains ownership of its portion until the customer completes the payment. The customer agrees to make regular installment comprising principal and profit to acquire the bank ownership share in the vehicle. The profit element represents the bank returns on investment and is agreed upon upfront, typically based on the prevailing market rates. Once the customer completes the agreed upon installments, ownership of the vehicle is transferred entirely to the customer. Throughout the financial period, the customer can use the benefit for the vehicle while making the payment. It's important to note that Maybank, like other Islamic banks, may have specific term, condition, and eligibility criteria for its Islamic hire purchase facility. So next is about feature of Islamic hire purchase ITAP by Maybank Islamic. The first point is ownership. Maybank Islamic act as the financier and purchases the asset such as vehicle on behalf of the customer. Maybank Islamic retains ownership of the asset during the financing period. The second point is joint ownership. Maybank Islamic and customer enter into a joint ownership agreement for the asset. Maybank Islamic owns a portion of the asset while the customer gradually purchases the bank share over time. The third point is installment payment. The customer made regular installment payments to Maybank Islamic. Each installment comprises two components. The first one is the principal amount. The second one is the profit markup amount. The principal payment help the customer acquire the bank's ownership share, while the profit represents the bank returns on investment. Next is transparency. The profit markup amount is determined upfront and agreed upon by both parties at the beginning of the contract. This ensures transparency and clarity regarding the financial obligation. And the last one is usage of the asset. The customer has the right to use and benefit from the asset throughout the financing period. Even though Maybank Islamic retains ownership, for example, in the case of vehicle, the customer can use the vehicle for personal or business purpose. So next, I would like to talk about the strength of Islamic hire purchase ITAP by Maybank Islamic. Uh, the first one is competitive profit rate. Maybank offer competitive profit rates for ITA financing, which make it an attractive financing option for customers. The profit rates for ITA financing are based on the prevailing market rates, which ensure that customers can get financing at an affordable rate. The competitive profit rates ensure that customers can get financing at a lower cost, which can help to reduce their overall cost of borrowing. The next one is quick approval process. Maybank offers quick approval for ITAP financing application, with most applications being processed within a few working days. This quick approval process ensures that customers can get financing quickly and easily without having to wait for long periods. The quick approval process also ensures that customers can take advantage of any opportunity that arises without delay. The next one is wide range of assets. Maybank offer financing for a wide range of assets, including cars, motorcycles, boats, and equipment. This makes ITA financing a versatile financing option that can be used for a variety of purposes. Customers can choose from wide range of assets and select the one and the best fit their needs. The next one is flexible repayment period. Maybank offer a flexible repayment period for ITAP financing, which allows customers to choose a repayment period that suits their financial needs. Customer can choose a repayment period up to 9 years, which provide them with the flexibility to choose a repayment plan that fits their budget and financial situation. The flexibility of the repayment period ensures that customers can manage their finance effectively and reduce the financial burden of repaying the financing. The next one is ownership transfer. At the end of the financial period, the ownership of the asset is transferred to the customer once all the payment have been made. This provides customer with a sense of ownership and control over the asset, which can be particularly beneficial for customers who are using the asset for business purpose. The ownership transfer ensures that the customer has complete control over the asset and can use it as per their needs. The last one is the guarantor, no guarantor required. For ITAP financing by Maybank does not require a guarantor, which makes it easier for customers to apply for financing. This is particularly beneficial for customers who do not have a guarantor or who do not want to involve a guarantor in their financing application. The absence of a guarantor reduces the documentation requirement and speeds up the application process. So next is I would like to talk about the weakness or issue that have in Islamic higher purchase ITAP by Maybank Islamic. So the first one that which is limited asset selection. While Maybank offer financing for a wide range of assets, there may be a limitation on the type and value assets they are eligible for financing. This may be a challenge for customers who are looking to finance high value assets or assets that are not covered by Maybank financing option. So next is late payment fees. Maybank charge late payment fees for ITAP financing, which can be a significant financial burden for customers who miss their payment deadline. Late payment for fees can increase the overall cost of financing and may lead to financial difficulty for customers who are already struggling to manage their finances. Customers should be aware of the late payment fees charged by Maybank and ensure that they make their payments on time to avoid these fees. Next is early settlement penalty. Maybank charge an early settlement penalty for customers who wish to settle their financing before the end of the agreed upon repayment period. This penalty can be significant and may deter customers from settling their financing early, even if it is in their best interest to do so. Customers who are considering settling their financing early should be aware of the penalties charged by Maybank and factor it into their decision-making process. Next is asset ownership. While the ownership of the asset is transferred to the customer at the end of the financial period, the customer may not have complete control over the asset during the financing period. Maybank retain ownership of the asset until the financing has been fully repaid, which means the customer may not be able to make significant modification to the asset or sell it without the bank permission. This may limit the customer's ability to use the asset as per their needs. The next one is higher upfront cost. ITAP financing by Maybank generally require a higher upfront payment than conventional financing for option. This is because ITAP financing is a lease agreement that involves the purchase of an asset by the bank, which is then leased to the customer. As a result, customers may need to pay a higher down payment or make additional payments such as security deposit or insurance premiums. This higher upfront cost may be a challenge for customers who have limited financial resources. The last one is limited flexibility. While ITAR financing offers a flexibility payment period, there are limitations on how flexible the repayment period can be. Customers may not be able to extend their repayment period beyond the maximum period allowed by Maybank, which may be a challenge for customers who need more time to repay their financing. Additionally, customers may not be able to make change to their repayment plan once it has been agreed upon, which may limit their flexibility in managing their finance. The next one is the recommendation and improvement for ITAB by Maybank Islamic. So, the first recommendation is lower late payment fees. Maybank can consider reducing or waiving late payment fees for customers who are facing financial difficulty. Maybank can also offer payment reminder or alert to help customers stay on track with their payments. The next one is lower early settlement penalty. Maybank can consider reducing the early settlement penalty or offering a grace period before the penalty is imposed. This can incentivize customers to settle their financing early and reduce their overall cost of financing. The next one is adding asset selection. As we know that ITA financing has a limited range of eligible assets for financing, which can be disadvantage for customers who need to finance high value or unique assets. To address the issue, Maybank can consider expanding the range of eligible asset of financing or offering customized financing option for customers who needs to finance high value or unique assets. Maybank can also work with its partner and supplier to expand the range of eligible assets, such as by adding more high-value assets or niche products to its financing portfolio. By doing so, Maybank can provide a more diverse and customer-friendly financing option to the customer. The next point is asset ownership. To address the issue, Maybank can consider offering more control to customer over the asset during the financing period. For example, Maybank can allow customer to make certain modification or repairs without the bank's permission, as long as they do not affect the value or safety of the asset. Maybank can also offer more flexibility in the asset selection process, such as expanding the range of eligible assets or increasing the value of eligible assets. Uh, Next is more flexibility. Maybank can consider offering more flexible repayment period to customers who need more time to repay their financing. Maybank can also allow customers to make change to their repayment plan, such as adjusting the payment amount or frequency. The last one is reduce upfront costs. Maybank can consider offering lower upfront costs to customers by reducing the down payment or offering more flexible payment options. For example, Maybank can allow customers to spread out the upfront costs over several payments or offer discount for customers who make large down payment. So, conclusion. Islamic hire purchase atap is a feasible solution for consumers seeking Sharia compliant asset finance. Maybank has made initiatives to meet the specific needs of Muslim consumers and has shown a commitment to delivering ethical and responsible finance solutions. Maybank is well positioned to continue serving the demands of its clients and the larger Islamic finance market with continued effort to develop and refine its product. That's all from me. Thank you.